Alright, so we're going to take a look at this video from Roast Wounds titled, When You Can't Recognize Funny.
That would be like me being on Joe Rogan. Joe don't want me on there. I need to be on Shannon. Joe got 6 comedians that never been funny. He want to push out. But that's really how it is.
But if you look at the building's blown outward.
Whoa.
Like,
Now, I've obviously never mentioned this Cat Williams thing here, but he was 100% right when he said it. And that's why so many people were like, finally, okay? Finally, somebody who's actually hung out with these guys, seen these guys, performed with these guys, is saying exactly what all of us think. They're not fucking comedians. Just a bunch of dudes who are cosplaying as comedians that are actually just hosts, right? And Cat he proved it again at the Kevin Hart roast by simply talking about them having a beef and then wanting to squash the beef and then not really wanting to. I mean, he was probably the funniest person at the Kevin Hart roast, let's be honest. The most anticipated probably at any roast. If Cat Williams makes an appearance to do comedy to any degree, people are bowing. All right? He's good at what he does. He's very good at what he does. Let's hear some more.
like it's blown out. Now, I'm obviously not a fucking bomb expert, but I talked to one.
You should
and
see
he was-
erect.
He can't stop himself.
All right. Keep going.
Ba-dum-bum.
I need some levity.
And we got that dog. And to be fair, we named him Mulder because, again, X-Files fans, Scully and Mulder. And Scully was just like happy heart that just loved. Mulder was so smart and thoughtful. He wrote my 4 best movies. That's why he died. I made Tusk and Yoga Hosers. Like, without that dog writing for me.
How'd he write for you?
It's a joke, Joe.
So there has long been a widely held belief within the comedy scene that Joe Rogan is unable to recognize what is truly funny. I think this issue can actually be broken down into 3 distinct categories.
All right, well, first things first. Why do all of these guys sound like this? Where are you from? Where are you from that you're also indulging in this much comedy? Especially like American comedians. That you're going to go and have a take and get 4,000 likes on the video and what have you. Because that just shows you everybody thinks they suck. So why are they in the positions that they're in? It's crazy. I mean, Joe Rogan just really figured out a way. He found a loophole in the system, 100%. He figured out how to be the most popular name in entertainment without doing movies, TV shows, or anything for what, 30 years? That's crazy. That's crazy. And then we're still supposed to sit here and pretend like they're comedians? Like, bro, we hear you talk. We watch you talk all the time, and the one thing you don't have is comedic instincts. You don't even have the instinct to be funny. That's why every single time this dude appears on Kill Tony, it's god-awful. He doesn't participate, he doesn't say shit, and then what are they going to tell you afterwards? Oh, Joe was just drunk. He had drank so much during his own podcast that he couldn't participate. So don't come. So don't come. It's that easy. But we got to suffer through it anyways because he is who he is. And I fucking hate that. There's nothing more despicable than somebody being in the position that they're in purely by accident. And you see it a lot in the UFC itself. You see a lot of these guys end up being champion and they should have never been there fighting for a title in the first place. Sean Strickland's number 1. Bilal Muhammad, number 2. Aljamain Sterling, number 3. We could go on for days, but that's another show. Let's hear some more.
Categories. First, there's Rogan's inability to recognize when someone lacks the talent required to be a top-notch comedian. Second, there's his inability to recognize when someone is joking. And finally, there's his inability to recognize what actually constitutes a good joke, which...
Now, all of that is 100% true. That's a fact. Joe Rogan doesn't have a clue on what is funny, on what it's like to see somebody attempting to be funny should look like. That's another reason why him going on there and telling other people what to do to be a better comedian or making fun of them for attempting to be a comedian is fucking ironic. Like, what are you doing? You're not the guy. You're far from the guy. And to think that somehow he's going to go down in the history books of comedy for any reason is mind-boggling, right?
Which of course led to his disastrous comedy special Burn the Boats. With that in mind, we can start with the first category, his inability to identify when someone is a genuinely talented comedian. And who better to illustrate this than Brendan Schaub? After Rogan staged an intervention on his podcast to convince Schaub to quit fighting following a series of knockouts, he wasn't just concerned about Schaub becoming a poster child for brain damage, he was also worried that Schaub might waste his talent as both a podcaster and a comedian.
But he didn't have any of that. He didn't have any of that, and they should have really went out of their way to make sure he stayed in fighting. Right? I think if that's not the case, then they should have at least had another conversation like this with Brendan Schaub when it came to comedy. Like, hey man, I don't think it's working.
There are guys, like George St. Pierre, who's efficient standing up, and then also, good at making those transitions. You it's not like you don't have good qualities, but
All right, so he's going to play a lot of old shit in this video as well. It's about 20 minutes long. I'm not going to watch this whole thing, but go check out this channel.